Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I'm Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Take a look at this video or any of my other videos, and if you find yourself inspired, join my channel. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. Hi everyone, I thought I would take the opportunity to show you how I go about doing the Wordoku puzzles. All right, so this is the first one that we're working on in the book, and it kind of will show you how to do them. All right, at the bottom here, they give us 9 letters. These 9 letters are to be used in each of the sections of the puzzle. You're only to use each letter one time. And as you see here, each section gives 9 total. So there's a section here, 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 3 here, and 3 here. Now, within each section, there are 9, which gives us the 9 letters that are given here at the bottom. Okay, now, the complexity to the puzzle is we're supposed to use those 9 letters in each of these sections, but we're only supposed to use each letter once in a row or once in a column. All right, so once you put that letter in this section, you also have to look to make sure it's not been used anymore in the 9 portion or straight across or straight down. So that makes it a little bit more complex, but I do enjoy doing it. All right, so let's try this one out and see how it goes. All right, and I'll show you the strategy that I use to work this puzzle. For your convenience, I am including a blank copy of a Wordoku Sudoku form, as well as a copy of this week's puzzle. I hope it helps. All right, so I just kind of go in an order that'll help me to remember how to look for the letters, and you can use whatever method works for you. All right, now, the first thing I do when they give me a puzzle is I look to see if there are any sections or any rows or columns that have almost all of the letters included. That makes it easier because then there's fewer that I have to add, okay? So this section here, there are 6 and there's only 3 open, okay? Down here, same thing. There's only 3 remaining. And so those could be a good place to start. Sometimes it's within a section here, but as you see here, this one right here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would mean that we would have a lot more letters to add. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on here, or what's going on here. All right, so W, there is a W. A, there is an A. R, there is no R. Okay, so R could be here, here, or here. Now, that's the first thing that I look at. Okay, the next thing I look at is there an R in that row or column? Well, there's no R in this row because we're looking at rows. So now in this section, is there an R? No. So it could potentially go here, but when you look here, there is an R. So this letter here cannot be an R. All right, so now let's look here. Is there an R in this section? Yes, so this cannot be an R. All right, so now this is the last one because there's only 3 in this row. So this one has to be our R, and then we can check and see, are there any R's being used here? And the answer is no. So I'm going to put an R right there. Okay, so now the next letter in here I'm going to look for is M. There is an M already. V, there is no V here. So that's another letter. Okay, so now the V could be either here or here, right? Now, it's not really helpful because nothing else here is a V, right? So it could be here. And here, there's no other V going down either, or in this section here. So either one of these could be a V. So I'm going to look at the other letter and see if that'll help me to figure it out. All right. So let's look at the next letter. O, there's an O here. I, there's an I here. C, there's a C here. And E, there's no E. So the two letters that I am looking for are an E, right? And a V. Okay. So looking over here, it could be either one of these. All right. Either one of them could be the letter because I'm not finding anything there. So sometimes what I will do is I'll put a small letter up here to help me figure it out. So it's either E or a V. Okay, so that way I know that those are the letters that I'm looking for. All right, so then I'll move on somewhere else and see if I can figure out those letters. So let's look down here because this one is another one that says that there's just three that are missing. All right, so is there a W? No, so that's the first one. The first one is oh yes, there is a W. There's a W right here. Okay, so that's not it. A, is there an A here? No, there is no A. All right, so an A could be here because I don't have an A here. An A could be here. No, it can't because there's an A here. Okay, so I can't have an A here. What about here? I could potentially have an A there. So I am not sure. So I'm going to say here could be an A and here could be an A. All right, but this one cannot be an A because there's an A right there. All right. So let's go to the next one. R. There's no R. Okay, so R is our next letter. All right, so look up and down here. Is there an R? No, there is not. Is there an R in here? No, there is not. So this could be an R potentially. So let's put an R here. And I'm just making it small to help myself, okay? So over here, is there an R? No, there's not. So this one also could be an R. So that's not really helping us at all, right? Okay. All right, so let's see if we can figure another letter. M, there's an M. V, there's a V. O, there's an O. I. Okay, so for an I, there's an I here. So this letter here cannot be I, right? Here, there is no, so this can be an I. So I'm just going to put an I there. C, there's a C. E, there's an E. Okay, so this letter here is an I, because that's the only one that it could be. That's the only ones that are missing for this particular row. Now, then I go back up to the other one to say, did that help me at all? And unfortunately, it didn't, because here I needed an E or a V. So it's still not telling me what, these letters would be. And that's okay. So over here, again, R or an A, here an R or an A. So I'm not really getting any help there. So let's just take a look at something else and see if that's going to help us out. All right, so do I have any other sections that have most of the letters done? Well, I have this one here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I don't know. We could try it. And here there's 5 also. Let's see, here there's 5. Here there's 5. So I'm not getting a whole lot of help with them, but that's okay. Did I help myself here anywhere? That will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe here. So let's try this one and see what we can kind of figure out. Okay. All right. So W A R. There's no M. All right. So there is no M in this row. Okay. So now there's an M here. So that means this one right here cannot be an M, right? And if I put an M here, that would mess up because this one is already given to us. So there can't be an M here. So this cannot be an M. This cannot be an M. So one of these two could be an M. But look what we have here. This one right here is an M. So this letter is M. Okay. You see how I did that? Okay. So now the next letter, V. Is there a V anywhere? Okay. So I don't see a V. So let's see. This cannot be a V. All right. And the reason it could not be a V is because there's a V here. All right. So now This letter here cannot be a V because no, it could be a V potentially because none of these other ones are V's. Okay, so this could be a V here. So this could be a V and I still have that there. This could be a V also. So I'm going to put a V here just in case. Okay. Because I don't have anything else that is going across here. Excuse me. So that could be a V. All right. O. Do I have any O's? No, I do not. So this could be an O or this could be an O. So let's just put an O here and an O here. All right. I just put an I. C. I have a C there and E. All right. So I need an E in this row. I need an E in this row also, right? Okay, so how am I going to do this? So this could be an E. This could be, let's see, this could be an E. All right, so I'm just going to take a guess. I'm going to take a big guess and I'm going to make this the E because that will satisfy this and this, okay? So I'm going to say this is an E and take a chance and hope that that's right, which means then if this is an E, then this is my V because those were the only two that I had remaining, okay? So then now let's see what we can do here, all right? So I have a W, I have an A, I have an R, I have an M, I don't have the V yet, and I don't have the O, and I have the I, the C, and the E. So the O and the V. All right, so let's see. I need an O or a V. This could be an O or a V. And this could be an O or a V. So let's see. Let's say, let's make this one here. I don't know. I'll just put a V here. And then I'll try to do some others to see what I can find. All right. I still don't know going across because this is an R or an A. And this is an R or an A. So I just have to kind of see, you know, how things are going. All right. So now let's see if there's anything else that I can determine something that's pretty close. Okay, so maybe going across here. Let's see maybe here if that'll help me at all. I don't know if it will or not. So W, I need a W. And none of these can be W's in here. So it's either this one or it's this one. So this is a W or this is a W. Okay. And that's because there's a W here. So none of these here can be W's. Okay. So A, I have an A. R, I have an R. M. Okay. So let's see. There's an M right there. V. The V is here. So none of these can be V. Okay. So this one could be a V. And this one could be a V. Okay. O. And O. Let's see. I really don't know yet because any of these can be O. So that's really not helping me at all. I. This cannot be an I. So this one is an I. Or this one is an I. Okay. C. I have a C. And E. I have an E. Okay. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. V, I, W, and O, right? And O. Okay, so this can be an O, and this can be an O. All right. So this letter here is an O. It's got to be an O because I don't have anything else that it could possibly be. So that kind of helps me out, right? Okay, so then we can just cross that off because we know it's not an O. All right. This one here, it looks like it's got to be a W because I don't have anything else that I had put in there. Okay, so then we can cross that off. That one. And so this one is either an I or a V, and this one is either an I or a V. So that kind of narrows it down for those. And I would be taking a big guess, so I'm still gonna, hold out. I'll cross out the W. So this is either an I or V, and that's either an I or V. Okay. All right, let's see. And I hope this is not confusing because I'm doing it with really light colors. But hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right. Did that help me out with this one? Not really, because this could still be a V because it's not in the same, area as this one. So this is either an O or a V, and this one is either an O or a V. So let's see if maybe doing this one will help me to figure anything out. Okay, so W, A cannot be here. All right, yeah, A cannot be here. It cannot be here, but it can be here. So this can be an A, and this could be an A. All right, R, I have an R. M, okay, so M cannot be here at all, but it could be here or here. So M or M. V cannot be here. Okay, so the V can be here or here. So the V would satisfy this line here, which is what I had been trying to work on, and this whole section here. So I'm thinking that that's going to be my V because it satisfies more than one thing. Okay, so I'm just going to put it there and hope that I did it right. Okay, O, so we don't have an O here. And I use that as a potential O, which also would have satisfied this one and this one. But I'm hoping to have another area that I can put it in because since I already put that there. But let's see. So it could go here or here because I don't have any O's right now. So O or an O. Okay. I, C, and then an E. Okay. Let's see. E cannot go here. So E can go here. And E can go here. All right, let's see. So the only thing that I have here is an M. So I'm going to say this is my M. Okay. So since I didn't put an M here, then I'm going to say this is an E, and I hope that's right. Okay. So then this is either an O or an A right here. An O or an A. let's see. Let's see if putting those helped me anywhere at all over here. I'm looking for an I or a V, and it still did not help me because I didn't put anything here to help with that. Okay, so this cannot be an A. So this has got to be an O, right? Because I have an A there. Okay, so that's got to be the O, and this has got to be the A. Okay, so let's look. W-A-R-M-V-O-I-C-E. Okay, so I did that. I got that. Okay, so this whole section is still not done because I got these two sections here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now let's try this one and see if we can get this one. Okay, so W-A-R-M-V. I need an O. Okay, I need an O. And it can't be here because I have an O there. So it can be here or here. So O and O. I need an I. So it can't be here because I have an I there. It could be here. It could be here. Okay. C. C. It could be a C here. Nope, it cannot be there because that's a C. So that's just an I. C here or C here. Okay, so this has got to be my I because I don't have anything else there. Okay, so I did an I. So this is either a C or an O, and this is either a C or an O. All right. Still don't know. Let's see. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's look at this one. Okay. W. I don't have a W. Okay. So this cannot be a W because I have a W there. Okay, so that cannot be a W there. That cannot be a W, so this is W. Okay. A, R. This cannot be an R because there's an R there. Right? So this has got to be an R. M. This cannot be an M. Oh, I have an M. Okay. V. There's a V. O. There's an O. I need an I. So this is my I. C and E. Okay, so I have this whole line done. Okay. Okay. So now, did that help me at all with this? Because here I'm still looking for I or a V. And no, it did not. So I still have those that I have not done. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe. Let's try it. Let's try this next one here. Okay. So W. This one cannot be W. This cannot be a W. So either of these can be W. A. This cannot be an A. This could be an A. Here, this could be an A. This can be an A. Okay. R. There's an R. M. There's an M. V. So this cannot be a V because there's a V there. And this cannot be a V. So this is a V. At least that's what I'm thinking. No, there's a V. Right, there's a V right here, so never mind. Okay, so W and A's, R, M, V, O. Do I have an O? Okay. So let's see. O, O. There's an O here, so this is not an O, and this could be an O. Okay, so did that help me at all? Well, the only thing that kind of helps me is right here by itself is an A. So I have to wonder if that's where my A goes. And I'm going to say yes. I think my A goes here because I don't have anything else that could be. All right. So then that would mean that this one right here is an O. Because if I put the A there, then the O goes there. All right. So I've already used my O, which means that this one is over here. Did I do something wrong here? A, O, and W. So I must have missed something here. Hold on, let's see what I did wrong here. Okay, so W, okay, A, I got R here, M, V, O, I, C, E. Okay, I hadn't looked for an E. Okay, so E, 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 E cannot be here. Okay, so E must be here. That's what I'm assuming. Okay, so this has got to be an E. All right, so over here, I've already found the O. So this has got to be a W. Okay. All right. Now, let's see, what have I not done? Okay, so I've done all of these now. I've done all of these now. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 3. I have 2 that I need to figure out here. Okay, but it's a C and an O, so it's the same letter for both of them. And the only way I could figure that out is if I can do these columns here to know which goes where. And it still may be a toss-up because I have so many that I have to complete here. All right, so let's see, it's 1, 2, and 3 here. Okay, so let's see what we can maybe determine here. So W, the W cannot be in this section here. So, and it cannot be in this section here because I already put a W there. So this has got to be my W. Nope, 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 nope. Let's see. I have a W here. And I'm trying to work on here. So I have a W. Okay, never mind what I just said. So I have a W here. I have an A. Wait, which one was I trying to work? Now I'm getting a little confused myself. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's try to work this one again. Okay, excuse me. So W, A, R. Okay, so R is what I'm looking for in this row. I'm doing this row right here. So R. Okay, so it cannot be here because I already have an R in that row. It could potentially be here. I'm just looking at that row, okay? Here could potentially be an R. It cannot be here because there's an R and it cannot be here. All right, so I still don't know because I don't know what's going across there. I just know that right here, there can be no R's here because there's one here, okay? And this is an unknown, but that's not an R because there's an R there also and one here. So I don't know about down here though. All of the ones up here, I do have an idea. But there does need to be an R in this row, and I don't have one. So that's interesting, right? So I think this one right here is going to be an R because I don't have one in a row. I can't put it here, and I can't put it here. So it's got to be right there. Okay, so that's an R. So that's going to kind of help me out a little bit. All right, so now M, I have one. V, I have one. O. All right, O. That's my question right here. I'm trying to put an O either in this column or in this column, but in the same row for right now. But this box here needs an O, and I'm working on here. So let's see. O. So maybe an O here. Let's put one there. Potentially there. Maybe. Here. Maybe. Okay. I don't know. I don't have an I. C. Still don't have a C. E. I have. Okay. So in this row, I still need an I. So I have to put an I there. I can't put one there because that's it. Oh, and I can't do that because this already has an I, right? Okay, so this is either a C or an O. And this is either an I, an O, or an R. Okay, so let's, well, the C cannot go here. How about, what if I made this right here a C? If I made that a C, then this one, the C would have to go here. And this one would have to be an O. Okay. And then this would have to be not a O, not a R. This would have to be an I. So let me make sure I did that right. So W-A-R-M-V-O-I-C-E. Okay, so I did that one right. That one's right. And this one, W-A-R-M-V-O-I-C-E. Okay, so that one is done. All right. This one is done. This one is done. And this one is done. This whole row is done. this whole row is done. Okay, so now I got to get another one that is close. Okay, let's see if doing these helps me to get this one right up here. So W, A, W, A. So I need an A because I don't have an A in here. All right. So this could be an A. This could be an A based on what I have right now. This could be an A. R, M, V, O. So I need an O. Right, okay, I need an O. I, okay, C, E. Okay, so there's an E here. So this cannot be an E. There's an E here. There's no E here, so E. There's an E here. Okay, so E. Okay. So this could be an O or an A. This could be an O or an A. No, it cannot be an O because there's an O right here. So then this has got to be an A because that's wrong because there's an O there. Okay. So that means this one right here is my O because I put the A there, which means this is my E. So hopefully you can see how I am doing this and it's not too confusing to you. All right, so I have this section here. I still am trying to figure out this V here. So this is either an I or a V. This is an I or a V. Let's see. Well, here I would only need to put in 2 other letters. So let's see. W-A-R. I need an M. This cannot be an M because there's something here. So this right here has got to be an M. And you see this one cannot be an M either because there's an M right there. And that's in the same row. Or column rather. Okay. So W-A-R-M. V. I need a V. So that's either this one or this one. We'll see. O. I have one. I need an I. Okay, so I can put an I there maybe. This one cannot because there's one there. And I need one there. C, I have a C. And E, I have an E. Okay, so the letters that I am looking for are I, V, right? W-A-R-M, V, O, I, C, E. Okay, so I and V. All right. So this one and this one. Okay, but again, the V cannot be here. So this is an I. And this is a V, I think, because I need that for this row. Okay, so then that helps me out here because then this one can be the I, if that makes any sense. Okay, because that's what's left and I have to satisfy this too. So let's check and make sure this is right. So W-A-R-M, V-O-I-C-E. Okay, so now I'm over here. I still have quite a few. I have 1, 2, 3 here. So let's see if I can get this one. W-A-R-M. I don't have an A. Okay. There's an A here. So this one can be an A, and this one can be an A because I don't have an A there yet. Okay, R, there's one. M, there's one. V, okay. So this could not be a V. And right now I don't have a V here. And I don't have a V here. Okay. And I don't have one here. Okay. O, I, C. Okay, so I need a C, but there's a C here. And there's a C here. So this one has got to be a C. E is there. Okay, so the letters that I am needing are a V and an A. All right, so here it's got to be the A. And this one has got to be the V. All right, so I got those. All right, we're getting somewhere on this puzzle here, guys. All right, so now let's see, maybe let's just do straight up and down because here it looks like there's only one letter that's not done. So W, A, R, M, V, O, I, C. So this has got to be an E. And let's make sure it doesn't interfere with anything else, and it doesn't. So then let's go here. So W, A, R, M. I need a V because I don't have one here. So it cannot go there because there's a V here. So this has got to be a V. O, I need an I. That's got to be here. All right. So let's go down this column. W, I need a W. Okay. So this can be a W, and this can be a W. A, that could be an A. This cannot be an A. So either this one or this one can be an A. And I need an A. Okay, so maybe this is an A, but I don't know. So let's go. This could be an A. And that already I said could be an A potentially. Okay. R. Do I have an R? No. So this is either an R or an A. And this could be an R. So because I don't have any more there right now. Okay. M. Okay, how is that? I have an M. Okay, there we go. V. I need a V. I have one. O. I have one. I have one. C. I have one. And E. I have one. Okay, so the letters that I'm looking for are W, R, and A. All right, now I only have a W here, so I'm going to use W. Okay, so these two here are either R or an A. Now I have to see what I need to put going across there, so I'll hold off on those until I kind of see what I need for the other ones. All right, so here, let's look at this one. W. I need a W. Okay, so here, so this one has got to be a W. This one's got to be the W because I have one here already that I just put there. So W. All right, A. Let's see. A, I have one. R, I have one. M, I have one. V, I have one. O, I have one. I have one. C, I have one. And E. Okay, E. I don't have an E. Okay. So this could be an E here. This could not be an E because that's there. Okay, so let me look at that again. W, A, R, M, V, O, I, C, an E. So this has got to be my E. Okay. So now does that help me over here? It does not, because that's not what I needed. I needed an R or an A. Okay, so that's not helpful. Okay, so let's look here. W-A-R-M-V. I need an O. That was either a V or an O, and I already got a V there, so the answer is O. Okay, so here, W-A-R, R there, or R there, M-V-O-I-C. I need a C. E. I have an E. Okay, so I need a C or an R. I still don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to put it there. Okay, so let's look here. W-A-R-M-V. I need an O. Yep, I need an O. O there. It cannot be there, so this has got to be my O. I. C. It's got to be my C, because that's all that's left. And the E is right there. Okay, so does that help here? So yes, because now this cannot be a C. This has got to be an R. And this has got to be a C, because I can't have them in the same row if they're in a different block, okay? All right, so does that help me over here? Yes, because my R needs to be down here because I have an R there. So then this one needs to be an A. Okay, so let me go back just to make sure for that one. So W-A-R-M-V-O-I-C-E. Okay, that's fine. All right. So now I think this is the last one, but I'll go and check once I'm done with this one. So let's do this column right here. Okay, so W, A, okay. This cannot be an A. This cannot be an A. So this has got to be an A, because I don't have an A in this row, so this has got to be an A. Okay, R. So this cannot be an R, so this has got to be my R. M. There is no M here, and there is no M here, so this has got to be an M. V, O, I, C, and E. All right, I think I got it all. So I'm going to check each of the rows and everything. So I'll be right back once I've checked everything, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too confusing for you, but that's how I go about solving Sudoku and Wordoku. It is a bit of a challenge and it does take some time to do, but I really enjoy it. So I hope that you did too. All right. So to each and every one of you, do everything you can to be mindful, do everything you can to be at your best health, and by all means, continue to be crafty every day. I look forward to seeing you again soon in one of my videos or one of yours. Bye bye now.